Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of the Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of Satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a Satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating Satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the positive effects that Satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate Satsangs for local Satsangis. He has led teams of Satsang members and in translating important literature into English, and has worked tirelessly to make Satsang accessible to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating Satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will lead us in a rare and ancient form of Satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Glad we are here. We just came through the Thanksgiving, at least here in the West. So I was somebody actually sent me a note, and in reply, I said, I'm thankful for being in this family, so I was born in a satsang family, and my grandfather created a very big, huge satsang family. And it's a constant inspiration. It's a service without borders. And I think the tagline I have probably stole from the folks, the Doctors Without Borders, but, spirituality for yourself and for others. If you help, and I think this is one thing I know, that it's a service that just keeps on giving. And then the third point I made there was a lifelong learning. And talking about the lifelong learning, I had some very well attended events in India, in places, and even at Guru Purnima, which is the Guru's Day, we had a very good English session in the community center here in Vienna, Virginia. Very thankful for everything. But then, I have started feeling that, when you have a very diverse set of folks who come in, you need to change yourself to welcome everybody the way I was welcomed in this family, in this satsang family. So one of the things that somehow, after years and years of working, I still feel that, especially the English sessions and the Western version, the American chapter doesn't have, is the community that was integral part of satsang that I almost grew up with. And I have been thinking about that for months now. So interestingly, there were lots of these events which were events. But then I've been thinking, satsang is not an event. Satsang is not, something that you do once, feel good. I mean, which is all, it's nice. But then, until and unless you integrate meditation, the lifelong learning is about vertically climbing upwards. And we talk about this pyramid and how you continue to grow towards higher level of wisdom, higher level of joy, higher level of peace. And believe me, I mean, it seems like words, but within my personal experience, as well as what I have observed, very few people get to that target state where on demand you could be joyful, you have wisdom on the tap, and peaceful existence is like second nature. No, the first nature. It's like, so to do that, what do you need to do? So outcomes are very, very important. And so you might think like, yeah, I have been thinking about putting some courses together, which will bring a lot of things that I talk about in these sessions into a more cohesive, um, plan or outcome-based, almost like coaching, mentoring. So one thought that came pretty strongly this morning was, we all need to focus on what's our goal and what are the means towards that goal. And somehow it's very interesting, actually, and I will go back all the way to the 1930s when one of the first congregations, I think my grandfather pulled it together. Very, very few people in India at that time in the Satsang. And his guru, Lalaji Maharaj, he actually talked about this, the goal versus the method. And are we confusing the two? It's like, is my goal to be a religious person, a spiritual person, a better human being? Or, I just want to be living a more peaceful existence? You can have goals, but sometimes the methods to get to that goal, we just get tied up with the method rather than have clarity on the goal. And just to briefly talk about that is like, sometimes the path that has been either prescribed or talked about, or you understand, we get so religious about it that even when we know that there are faster, better, easier methods to get to the goal, we either don't look at them or ignore them completely, etc. So in that process, so I was just, thinking about the outcomes. So we ought to have these outcomes. And Yuan, while I'm talking about this, if you could find the pyramid again, because I have been talking about the pyramid for years now. But what I'm thinking now is to define a 5-step process where each step has a very clean and crisp outcome. So, interestingly, I found this multi-step process in a book by the authors of the Chicken Soup series, and called The Power of Focus. And then I realized that, my grandfather has written about a 5-step process that was described more as a 3-step, but my grandfather has talked about something that came up in the Upanishads as a model of 5-step. I called it the 5 steps to nirvana. Those 5 steps came in Upanishads, which are like thousands of years old. So I talked about each of the steps, but more in the traditional or the slightly abstract terms. But when I have started thinking about these courses, I'm thinking satsang foundations. So develop a common language, a common ground for people who might just want like no strings attached, no non-denominational, completely foundational, like, yoga is a huge, 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 very deep philosophy, but I can go into a yoga studio and do asanas and pranayams and come out no strings attached. I don't care about the whole big hoopla or the big, huge philosophy or variations or the goal. The yoga means union of the body, mind, and spirit, or basically I call it yoga and satsang both have the same definition, which is the way to become one with the transcendental energy. So Sat is the transcendental energy, the positive energy, as Eddie was referring to. And Sang is to be with. So to be with this phenomenally powerful, uplifting, positive energy that transcends the world is satsang. And yoga is to unite with that transcendental energy. How many people really look at yoga that way? Method and the goals. So the outcomes, I could take, a very powerful machine, but I use it for a very small purpose. That's up to me. So even with satsang, I think, we could potentially leverage it for outcomes like physical health benefits that come out of meditation. Or there could be psychological or mental powers, mental capabilities that come because of concentration, focus, ability to, really concentrate on a subject so you can do deep research, deep reflection, etc. And then there is this, other target where you get to this level of, I call target state 1, target state 2, and target state 3, which is above all that, above the physical and mental capabilities, is this wisdom, which is achieving a tremendous clarity because your brain functions now have a whole new, that you have transformed how your brain helps you in making decisions, for example, or in understanding things. And, the scriptures in the East describe it as a third eye, as vivek, which is the discretionary power. It's called gyan, which is knowledge. I refer to it as light. And because we meditate on light, that is the first thing that we ought to achieve, light. And so be the light. Be the light. That should be target state 1. But what happens then? If you have this amazing clarity, then what you get is clarity in the purpose of your life. So till you get to that 4th stage, which is the target state 1, the wisdom state. Till then, it was all, you were a wannabe, you wanted to get to a higher state and you are working towards it and you're getting some outcomes, yes. But if you go to Maharishi Patanjali's philosophy or Satsang philosophy, all that is work in progress till you get to the state of wisdom, target state 1. Enlightenment actually starts here because light is knowledge, is wisdom, or, clarity gives you that wisdom. And hence your purpose of life becomes clearer. So all that happens, then what? So the stage after that we have talked about is like Sahaj Samadhi, which is, I'm saying it lightly, but in a way very seriously as well. It's like you become Teflon. It's like, yeah, it's like everything that happens around you doesn't affect you anymore. It's like, what? No, you are actually a better human being then. Because your neutrality, your ability to see through the good, the bad, you actually very neutrally observe, actually. So when things don't affect you, which is your emotions, for example, and that is when you got your amazing clarity, you go to this next stage where, like literally, if I could translate and I can visualize some of my mentors, like everything I do is for a singular purpose. So literally everything I do becomes a service to, the broader fellow beings. And hence I become a better human being, a wiser person, obviously. But the wisdom now gives me this purity of heart. So wisdom in itself is not purity of heart. But in this light, I actually start seeing my own flaws. And when I'm able to see my flaws, if I work on cleaning them and with this amazing clarity and purpose, if I start working on that, I get this pure bliss, full purity state of heart that I could call heartfulness, heart full of light, clean, pure love emerges then. And then what happens? So that's the 5th state, 5 steps. Wisdom or light, and then this joy or love in the 5th state. So wisdom plus joy brings you a phenomenally deep peace. Because till you're unclear, till you're not full of joy, peace will be fleeting. Moment to moment will change. So that would be basically the 5 steps. But it has to start somewhere. And first 3 steps, so I'm calling them foundations, where you, start the journey. Then the second one is you develop your practice. So you explore, research further. And once you settle and, get deeper into your practice, then comes the third step where you enhance your practice. And that leads to these target state 1, 2, and 3, which is wisdom and light. Target state 1, joy and love, target state 2, and then target state 3 of peace. So anyway, I always feel that when we practice, we always, in a way, humbly, and in a way to just, kind of go at it in a way that we want to go further up from where we are. So for everyone, it's the same practice. But you're on step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Practice is the same, but the outcomes are different. So we'll do the practice now, and then we'll discuss any questions or comments afterwards. And then I think, most probably I would have your emails already, but I want to start a community, and then I also want to start a more purpose-driven, outcome-driven mentoring and coaching, so that we can get deeper into a practice of our own for each one of us. Anyway, so let's practice now. So Yuan, would you please bring in the inner yoga? Yep. So this is my grandfather. Everybody used to refer him as Guru Maharaj, Dr. Chaturbhuj Sahaji. He actually focused on 4 of the 8 limbs more. So so satsang focuses more on the limb 5, 6, 7, and 8, but the other 4, which is the asanas, pranayams, yam, and niyam, you would be able to follow. His view was that if you follow these 4 meditative practices, then the other 4, you'll be able to focus on your physical health, your breathing, your behavior. All that will become, so behaviors would get better if you do these meditative practices. If you do these meditative practices, start with these 4, then your physical health, your breathing will also get better, and you will be able to focus more on those as well. So inward orientation, concentration, meditation, and higher consciousness. So the instructions of our practice, what we will practice now, start with the first 2. And then based on, once you get into the meditation, deep silent meditation, higher consciousness results from it. So where do you begin? So first, inward orientation. To help that, you need to minimize distractions to your mind. And mind is going outwards. So first, let's give it a toy to play with. And that's the object of concentration. So outward focus is on, five senses going and basically outwardly going towards the world. Now we want to look inwards, inside. And the thought. So basically, whenever mind just keeps moving from thought to thought to thought, right? So we want to concentrate on one thought, and that too in a way that we focus inwards. That one thought here is that we are in the presence of this phenomenally positive, uplifting, and powerful transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now with us. And that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. Now, maybe after meditation, we'll talk about the monkey mind again. So this process is to tackle the monkey mind. You sit still, you focus inwards, you focus on very positive, uplifting, transcendental energy in form of light. Music helps you concentrate on that. Then music fades away and you are in deep, silent meditation. And once you achieve that, tackling your monkey mind, if you're able to achieve deep, silent meditation, then higher consciousness is going to be not too far. So that's a result of that deep meditation. All right, so still relaxed posture. Try to keep your spine straight, chin a little inwards for better posture, eyes lightly closed. So all this is to facilitate the inward orientation, and think about this transcendental energy in form of light, that it's right here, right now in front of us, that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. When mind wanders away, which it will naturally, bring it back. That's also inward orientation. Bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. So you can do mindfulness, chanting, other things before and after, and or after. But during this meditation, just focus on one thing, that is to observe this transcendental energy in form of light that's entering your heart, enlightening your heart, distributing throughout your body, so you're becoming one, completely immersed in this light. Mind wanders away, just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. We'll start with music, then music fades away, and then we'll transition out again with music. Let's start now. So happy Saturday again. I don't know about you, but I really had a very inspiring morning this morning, um, and so started this session being very thankful. Now, if I was being thankful for being in this family, Guru Maharaj Satsang family, which is a constant inspiration, and in my view, a service without borders and a lifelong learning. Today, maybe something, you see, I am in debt of this overarching family in ways that it's hard to express. But I'll share some candid things with you, and maybe I'm sharing too much, so pardon me if it rubs you on the wrong side. It's so this morning I was thinking, and we talked about 5 steps. We talked about wisdom and light. We talked about joy and love and peace. And so the first step is, when you gain wisdom, you understand the purpose in life. That amazing clarity gives you purpose in life. So interestingly, what I think is that if you were there alone, this will be a very hard pursuit. So, one, you need a community, but you need a guide. And we, in the East, call it a guru. So guru is someone who clears your goal and hence makes you realize your purpose in life. So the thing is, and I'm being very serious here, but it's a lighter vein as well. But for some, most of us actually, but for some, getting to having a clear purpose in life, having a purpose-driven life, takes a lifetime. So the guru said, sign up for your life. And because that will be extremely expensive, right? If you want to have a consultant for your life, it'll be damn expensive, right? So they said, sign up for free. Now it's counterintuitive, but this is exactly what has happened to me. I'm just telling you. So what happens in life is that when you get value, I go buy a car, very expensive car. But if I'm thinking that gives me value, then I'll pay. So it was a system that as you realize value, you pay. Or call it, you start giving or contributing. So the question becomes, what are you willing to pay? So the ideal situation here, and again, this is personal and very, very true. So I'm being very sincere here. So think about this situation in 2 perspectives, the one who's giving and the one who's receiving. Okay? So the one giving feels the value is so great that whatever I give is less. So, so if I feel the value that I'm getting is so much, I can pay anything and everything, and I will be totally satisfied. So I feel that I am giving something that is much less than the value I am getting. So I feel like a winner. I do personally. Then think about the guru who has decided to serve. So in general, they would serve anyone who wants to learn. And so it is about getting a clearer purpose in life, right? The light, a perfect union, a state where I am a state where I am the universe or the transcendental energy, or all that is in the universe is in me. So I'm not separate, but integral part of much bigger ocean of consciousness. So if the guru who is guiding or mentoring or teaching, he learned it for free, and he feels his or her duty is to give back, so he's not expecting anything. So if anything is given, when the expectation was none, they feel joy to receive. So if you look at this, the system was designed in such a way that it's a win-win. It's like just, the person giving feels great and the person receiving feels great. But then why do people think it's a scam? So I can think of two reasons or two situations. So the person who realizes the value, wants to give away everything, is also surrounded by people. So they don't see the value, right? So they called it blind faith, and I don't blame them. And also the flip side is the commercialization of the concept of guru. So that is also real. So imagine. So what happened? Like I was just thinking about this, and I'll shut up after that. So the Indian government allowed college education to be free, or it was almost free. I went, did computer science. Yes, my father paid a lot because it was 2,000 miles away and blah, blah, blah. But the tuition was very, very low. And, like in US, the school education is like that, right? But then the West would call this an unfair advantage. You're like teaching, so India is not getting the economic opportunity out of college education. So what happens? Now there are tens of thousands of, or at least thousands of colleges that I know, they charge an arm and a leg for education. So what is the result? The divide between the people who can afford college and those who cannot is now wider, right? Why am I saying this? It's like it's a scam this way or a scam that way. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, I personally think that we ought to help to first understand and inculcate a meditative practice for ourselves, have a clear goal, and then help others do the same. So with that, I think Luz and Eddie, I think today I was on a roll. Maybe I should took a little too much time.
Good morning or happy Saturday to all. Sorry I'm not on video. I am off to an appointment, standing appointment every Saturday, but I always want to join you because it's so beneficial to meditate with you all. And I thought what you said earlier about the method versus the goal and where the emphasis should be, or where it, where it's important to be. I think that's it's a good reminder, because you can't reach the goal without a good method. And so you need an effective method. And it's hard. Like, we all daydream about reaching that goal, but it takes work and it takes discipline. I think meditating is a disciplined practice. So it was good to kind of be reminded of that. And I don't have much else to say, but thank you for for the group meditation today. I'm very thankful for this group, incredibly so, which is why I'm still here after, I think, 2 years now.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, we are all glad that we're here, and absolutely very thankful. And if anyone has any questions, please put that in the chat. Or I'm thinking of, just starting an email thread. Let's try to see how we can get better ourselves at our own goals, and how we can help each other in doing that. So Eddie, what's the wrap up for today then?
You covered a lot of good points today, but the one that stood out to me the most, I'll close with, and that is lifelong learning. One of the idioms that I took to heart when I was in China was the basically about lifelong learning. It was 活到老学到老. So it was like you're never too old to learn. And I think there are two aspects of that, and that is, one, we have to learn about practical knowledge, things that help us live in this world, to preserve our bodies and our health and so forth, and provide a means of living. But then there's that aspect that you talked about, and that is obtaining the higher knowledge, the wisdom, going through the 5 stages. And that's a lifelong process. And so, we're here today to participate in that practice. And we, in some sense, recognize that it requires a place to learn, a university to learn and practice. And so we're here today to learn from you and learn from Guru Maharaj and practice this system along with his assistants, so that we can gain true knowledge and true wisdom. And that's why we're here today, and I'm thankful for that. And I think, whether we realize it consciously or not, subconsciously, in my opinion, we're here for that, and we recognize that and realize that subconsciously. So, thank everyone for being here, and I give my thanks for this system, this Satsang system, because it is a big part of my life, and I find it enjoyable as well. So I hope everyone has the similar experience.
Absolutely. And maybe Arvindji, you want to say something before we wrap up?
Not at all. Happy Saturday and Namaskar, Puji Bhaiya. Namaskar to everybody. Just wanted to say thank you for bringing Guru Maharaj's transcendental bliss and energy and helping us stay connected. Without staying connected, one would struggle. So thank you for bringing that energy to all of us, showing us the path. And all I can say is gratitude. Namaskar.
Yeah, and I think Kanatha, just share your email and we will follow up. I have actually identified a platform where I want to create a community which would help. We can put challenges like, daily meditation challenge for this week and so on and so forth. And share, downloadable daily meditation videos and things like that. So I was just thinking, my kids say that you make things so complicated. Why don't you simplify? And when I look at my mentors in Satsang, they were very, very simple people. So yeah, I think let's start with an email thread. That would be simple. And then we'll take it from there. But, I am in IT, and I always feel that, believe it or not, like this was way before pandemic. I think it was 2003, 4, 5, when I actually started looking at, online platforms. And from 2010, the Hindi version of this experience, this satsang, is online daily from 2010. So yeah, it's I have identified a platform. I would like us to get to that platform, but before then, let's just connect with email. I think I'm going to go back on YouTube to share more things that were shared with me literally for free, so yeah, be seeing you soon. Have a great week ahead. And so Tuesday is 7 p.m. Eastern, Saturday is 10 a.m. Eastern. The link remains the same. Join whenever you can. I personally don't like to intrude, but I would love to have you all back as often as you can. So yeah, love, light, and peace be with you. So wisdom, joy, and peace. Let's all work towards it, help each other, and keep doing. Yeah, perfect. So we have some emails, and I definitely, one person changed is like lighting a candle. I think I visualize it that way. You light a candle, and when I have been to these cathedrals, you go in, you light a candle, and it just what it reminds me, what it inspires me with is one lighted candle can light up so many, thousands and thousands and thousands. And that's what we got to be the light. All right. See you all soon. Thank you.
So goodbye, Sanjeev.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye.
For always being here. So I'm very thankful to you.
That's very wonderful. I'm thankful to you too.
Thank you.